Hey everyone, if you're wondering what could be your life if you move from an AEM on-prem program to AEM Cloud, you're at the right place. I'm John, Digital Customer Experience Lead here at VAS, and today I would like you to understand a little bit better what is AEM Cloud and what you can do and what are the benefits. Let's go.
Let's deep dive into the topic. Actually, I would like you to understand three things, and please stay to the very end of the video because we will also have a look at the Cloud Manager really quickly. First of all, why did Adobe choose to move from on-premise to cloud solution? Second, what are the main benefits of doing so, and what are actually the savings that you will do? And third, we will see how easy are the operations of your AEM instance once you move to the cloud. And last but not least, as I mentioned, stay tuned until the very end to have a quick look at the Cloud Manager. Let's get started. On-premise versus cloud. When you see that, I don't know what you think about, but for me, it's a synonym of nightmare. So, when we think about on-premise, it's also about managing servers, wires, and so on. And this is a totally different approach with the cloud. And actually, Adobe decided to move businesses from on-premise to the cloud for many reasons. But they started thinking about what are the challenges and what are the inconveniences of running an AEM program, an Adobe Experience Manager program on-premise. First of all, they understood that managing upgrades of their solution is risky. It can take a lot of time for some businesses. Of course, you need capacity to manage those version upgrades, and we'll talk a little bit later about that. The maintenance costs, of course, you need to manage the servers, you need to buy some news, you need to run them, whatever is the solution you decided to go for with your business, but it comes with costs, absolutely. And finally, the downtime. You are responsible for making sure that your system is always running, and the other way around, when you have maintenance and service interruption, whatever is the reason, you are responsible for that, and it might cost a lot for your business. On the other hand, they thought about the clouds and the benefits of the cloud. And especially when it's in the context of Adobe Experience Manager, your software is always up to date, always on the latest version, which is really, really comfortable for business and marketing people who are using it. Next is the scalability. Vertically, horizontally, the website is always available and you can fit all the guests you will have on your website. The maintenance is really, really easy for a simple reason. Adobe managed the infrastructure and the security. The cloud is available on Azure and also AWS, depending on your countries, and is managed by Adobe, and you just get access. If we talk about the downtime, here, you make sure that your website is 99.99% uptime. This number comes from Adobe themselves. They ensure that the website of their client is always up and running. And so far, my experience on project as a global partner with major brand is that we stick to those values. Is cloud really better? Yeah, you may have this question now, because of course moving to the cloud and have everything managed by Adobe comes with some downsides. You will lose some flexibility that you may have on premise. You will of course not see and manage everything. The cost is maybe higher when it's on premise, but more predictable because you know exactly how to maintain it, compared to a content request pricing approach with the cloud where you pay as you go. I think this is a benefit, but for some businesses it can be a challenge because if they cannot really trend and predict their traffic, they cannot really trend and predict their costs. But beside that, I want to say one of the major benefits, as we mentioned, even though for some people it's not really a challenge to to not be able to manage costs, and they want to use the cloud for this specific aspect, is that you will never have any server overload. This means that your website is always up to date and running to make sure that your users can browse and use your website. If you think about any marketing campaign that you may have, like especially if I think about the Black Friday, which is one of the biggest peak for some e-commerce clients I have, then in an on-premise world, you will have to manage and make sure that your server is capable of receiving all this traffic. In the cloud, it's not the case anymore. The auto-scaling will provide additional space and room for your users to make sure it works, and still with the same pricing model. This is really important. And the other way around, to make sure that the performance is always up to date. If your traffic decreases, the cloud will automatically make sure that you have less capability available. This is how Adobe manages the overall capacity to make sure that they are cost efficient. And thanks to that, you do not need any IT employee or IT partner regarding infrastructure to manage the services. The second topic I wanted to talk about is the operation. For me, it's a game changer. If you think about that upgrade, when you have software, there will be new functionalities, new releases by the vendor. And this is great. We love it. I mean, especially if you are a marketer or a user of the solution, you're always happy when new features come and that you can provide more to your end users in the end. But it comes with some downside for the IT team who is making sure that the website is available. Of course, they have to upgrade the different environments. They may have a development environment, an UAT staging environment, a production environment, sometimes even more. And this is crazy. I will not go through the checklist. By the way, you will find a link in the description where you can download the on-premise checklist, let's say the survival guide for upgrade that we use on a daily basis with our clients. So feel free to go to the description, enter your email, and you will get the checklist, because I will not go through it right now. But I just want to show you something, is that this is all the things we used to do with the on-premise. And if you liked it, yeah, now do it 3 more times, because you have to do that for every environment and make sure that it works everywhere. And what happened if we are in the cloud? This is not a mistake. The slide is empty on purpose. There is nothing to do. And that's great. I was talking a little bit earlier about costs. An upgrade with a service pack is usually a few days of work, 2 to 4 days of work, depending on how many websites do you have, the size of your program. It might be more. I have even heard about few dozens of thousands of bucks from some of my clients. So imagine the savings you will do here with having your people focusing on what they are good at instead of just checking and improving and upgrading some functionalities that are actually upgraded out of the box if you move to the cloud. So here we really talk about thousands of savings every year. Now I want to take you on a journey. We will have a quick look at the Cloud Manager. So my goal here is not to deep dive into the Cloud Manager and every functionality. I just want to give a quick overview of what it is for some people more in the business side, or any also IT people who would like to understand a little bit more what it is about. But feel free to drop a comment in the comment section if you're really interested into having a full journey, a full walk around of the Cloud Manager. I will do a video about that later. So let's deep dive into the Cloud Manager. First of all, as you may see on my screen, I'm already logged in. So this is the page you will reach when you go to the Cloud Manager of your program. And this is an overview of the different programs you have. Here I can see the 2 programs that are here and there. And then if you want, you can jump within one of those programs. So let's take this one as example from the company VAS company. And here, first of all, I can see the different environments that I have, their status. Are they running? Is there some code being pushed at the moment, some updates. Is the environment hibernated, so not in use? This usually doesn't happen for a partner and client's environment. It's mostly for us when it's about a sandbox. In the second box here, the second column, I can see the pipelines. So it's important to mention that the Cloud Manager and Adobe Experience Manager as a cloud service come with its own repository. And our developers are pushing code to this repository to do the deployment. And it starts with the deployment to the development environment, then the stage environment, and finally, when everything is approved, to the prod environment. And we can see here a pipeline is running, and if I have a look at it, I can check the different possibilities that are here for the deployment to the different environments. And this is really important because the Cloud Manager and its pipeline for CI/CD has its own capabilities in terms of testing, and it's highly customizable, and it's ensured that every code you push to the code base goes through the best practices and make sure that your website performance is still the highest. And then when everything went through, you can approve and push it to production. Now we are back on the homepage. As I mentioned a little bit earlier, I will not go through all these details. I would love to make a video specifically about the Cloud Manager if you're really interested in. My goal was also to show you the different possibilities regarding the pipeline, the deployment that are actually running or not, what's happening, and what can you find there in terms of testing and making sure that your website will run with the best performances.
Time to wrap up all the 3 benefits we just discussed. Main benefit is the savings you will do in time and maintenance, because now Adobe will take care of your AEM program for you. The second is the scalability, the availability, 99.99% uptime. This is a huge benefit for you and a lot of stress that you can get out of your head. And last but not least, innovation available as soon as possible. Your AEM platform will always be up to date. This means that your authors and marketers can always take advantage of the latest innovation provided by Adobe. Now, it might be that you're still on premise, and don't worry, I have something for you. If you go to the description, you will find a link to download our free ebook to help you maintain and upgrade AEM. So this is for free. We know that this is a huge problem for companies. It costs a lot of time and money, so take advantage right now. But it might be that after this video, you're now considering moving to the cloud. If so, contact us. You will get a free assessment of your AEM program to see what will be the ROI and the benefits of moving to the cloud for your very personal implementation. I hope you liked this video. Hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe and enable the notification. See you soon.
VAS. Complex made simple.